Right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Tech Talk Legal. My name is Malcolm Pearson. I'm from Tech for Law, the editor of Tech for Law here in South Africa and neighboring states. If you're on the link via LinkedIn, remember we have techforlaw.co.za where you can go and get your latest legal tips, and also Tech Talk Legal as a group in LinkedIn. You can also go there and follow the discussions that we have. But so let's get right in. I hope you all got your coffee. I got my morning coffee here. Normally what happens is I end up having the whole chat without having any coffee and end up the coffee being cold. But today I'm going to make sure I have my coffee. Right, okay. So let's get right into the topic this morning. Improve your LinkedIn profile. Okay, now I profess that I'm not an absolute fundi on the topic, and you'll see later when I show you my profile cover. I'm no fundi at all. I need to do some work myself, and probably find that's one of the reasons why I picked this topic is so I could actually kick myself into gear and get myself sorted at the same time. Right. So let's start with LinkedIn profile pictures. Okay, so LinkedIn profile pictures, very simply, make sure that your picture is recent. No use, like you'll see, my one's about 10 years old, probably longer. Fill up the image. Obviously, it's just going to be a small image. As you know, it's on the left-hand side if you look at it. But that image, make sure that it's you fill up 60% of that area with your face. That is the whole reason of the profile picture. Make sure that you smile, unless obviously you a criminal defense lawyer who gets axe murderers off the hook. The size of those images is 400 by 400 pixels. Make sure you use the 400 by 400. Ideally, design the image at 400 by 400, then you know that you're not losing any of that space, or it's not doing any expanding or contracting for that image. Get somebody to take the picture. Selfies are wonderful. We all love selfies, but to be honest, in your profile pic, people will pick up straight away if you've taken a selfie. So if you want yourself to look professional, get a professional in, take some pictures. You're not only going to use it in the LinkedIn profile, you'll be using it in other areas too. The rule of thirds of pictures, basically for the profile picture, you split the box, you split the image into 3 by 3. The top middle one is basically you try and get your eyes into that area, and that entices more than doesn't entice people, but that draws attention to your eyes, which is the most important part of your face. You obviously can tell people by their eyes. So make sure it's close to the top center square of those 3 by 3. I'll show you a picture of that just now. Photo, mood, and style should match your profession. Like I said earlier, if you a defense lawyer who gets off terrible criminals, then you're not going to be smiling in your picture. But I think if you're a conveyancer, you want to be more, warm and sort of fuzzy. You want to be a approachable person, I should say. So they'll be smiling in your picture. Make sure it matches your profession. The background mustn't be busy. For example, this where I am at the moment in my office with the blinds behind me, that would be busy in the background. The other example is of a face brick wall behind you that detracts completely from your face. Dress in your business workwear. If you go to work in your suit, stay like that. Don't put your swimming costume on and use that as your profile picture. LinkedIn has 6 photo filters. So basically when you're done with your profile photo, you then have an opportunity to actually clean it up, fine-tune, like I said, fine-tune your face. But basically you have a couple of options where you can actually improve on that picture. I tested this is quite funny. I tested my profile picture last night on a place called Snapper. They say that's where you go to get opinions. And then they said this is quite a little bit of a shock, but there was an error with your image. In fact, it appears only to be a forehead. So yeah, that is what I look like. But thanks for the compliment. Please try another image. So there I go. I have to do some work on that. And there you have it. So that's my profile. And like I said, there's work to be done. So there's my picture. That's the one I put in there. And there you go. There's my forehead. And then Tech for Law, I've been really bad because that Tech for Law background, it's fine as a logo. It sort of does tell people what I do, but you can see by the logo in the bottom right of the presentation, that's not my current logo. I need to do some work on that. And I mean, the many aspects, like I said earlier, that I need to tweak on my profile. And then we were talking about the rule of thirds in the picture. And you can see that lady's eyes, you're drawn to her eyes straight away, because, and then look where the position of those eyes are. They as far as possible to that top middle square. So yeah, the focus area is that middle of the top square. So that is where her eyes are. So there's a good example of the rule of thirds for pictures. Come now, let's move along. I said, let's move along. Okay, now the background picture, you know, that's that big banner that's behind your face, or behind your profile picture. Coffee's good. Remember, your profile picture obscures part of that image. So ideally, if you're working on your background image, make sure that there's nothing that you're going to obscure when your profile picture comes up. For backgrounds, the examples they talk about, use your workplace, workspace, or tools of your trade for your background. My workspace, I can guarantee you, if I used it as my background, it wouldn't portray a very good image. So yeah, tools of the trade. Let's, for example, if you're a conveyancer, you'll obviously have houses for sale. You know, you might use a gavel, but basically, you want that image that's behind you to tell a story of what you do and why they should contact you. There's some samples in the next slide that I'll show you. So like I said, a quick look at your profile picture should tell people what you do and why they should be doing business with you. Use the text. You can use text in your background. And I think this is a very clever part. You know, LinkedIn limits you, or doesn't limit you either. They ask for your email address. But when people are trying to get hold of you, you'll notice that in LinkedIn, unless you're a paying subscriber, you don't have a way of actually contacting those people easily. So one of the examples of the text in the background is to put your email address. So when you're creating your background, put your email address in text, and obviously then save it as an image. Use your personal hashtag. If you're lucky enough to have a personal hashtag that people know you by that hashtag, or that there's a following, so you can use that. Job title if you want to. And then the benefits of working with you. You know, that you're enticing, that whole idea of the profile in the background is to entice people to work with you. Then also you could use your favorite quote. That often tells a lot about the personality of a person. Test your background, profile, and profile picture, basically when they're together, on all the devices, you know, cell phone, iPads, desktop, notepad, notebook. So you get an idea how that picture actually shows up. Right, some of the examples I said I would show you. This is a very good example. Straight away, you can see this person's a public speaker, and she says a keynote speaker. But basically, straight away, her profile picture is not bad either. You can see where her eyes are on the size of that profile picture. So that's a good example. This lady, Alexandra, very clever, that the text is rather noisy, but that authentic Alex stands out like you cannot believe. And then all people need to do is to follow that hashtag or search on that hashtag, and you'll get a whole lot of information about it. So I think that's very clever. Also a very good profile picture. Not such a good profile picture for Jessica Dong. but you can see straight away that she's the global marketing manager strategy at TikTok. There's no question. You can see straight away that she's with TikTok. This lady, Sean Robinson, very clever. LinkedIn top voices. Now you won't just get an award as LinkedIn top voices, sort of willy-nilly. You straight away, you know that if you want to do something in LinkedIn and get some exposure in LinkedIn, this lady's with that award is the person to go to. It's no question. So very clever and very good background. Right, moving on. Other than the pictures and the nice to look at things, headline and about section. Right, so your headline should be used for more than just what your job title is. Explain what you do, why you do it, as well in that headline. Don't just only, you must talk about your experience and achievements, but don't only just talk about that. For example, you might think this is petty, but you could say something like, when I was a waiter at Wagon Wheel in Pretoria, it taught me to listen more than I speak, which is normally a very good aspect trait to have. If we got the order wrong, it came off our tips. So very, very quickly, you would learn to shut up and listen. So I think that's great. That tells a lot. Also, if people tell you that they've been waiters or waitresses, it immediately tells you that those people can interact with others quite easily and quite well. So that is a good thing that you could put in. Skills, services, recommendations. Obviously, this is as you're moving down in the profile. List your skills. Obviously, if you have them already listed, but you need to go through and do a sprinkling, because these days in the legal field, jobs are changing on not an hourly basis, but basically an annual basis. People's jobs are really changing. So look at those skills and amend them from time to time. You can take, if you have the time, and I would imagine this is quite time consuming, do a skills assessment and get a verified skills badge. That'll also do your profile the world of good. List your services so people can see what they should hire you for. And as lawyers, it's all about your services and your skills. So go and make sure that you list those services. Endorse other people's skills. So people that are in your network, make sure that you endorse their skills. You see how very quickly the skills, the endorsements come back to you. I've done that before very, very quickly. And then also request testimonials from others in your network, people who you're close to, that you've worked with for a long time. Ask them to endorse, to send testimonials, basically recommendations. Very quick, and you'll see they reciprocate. Obviously, they want you to do it for them as well. But I think that's if you ask them, they'll come forward and do it for you. The profile completion meter. I took ages to try and find my profile completion meter. I Googled, I went all over the place. And it turns out that once your profile is complete, you have the 100%, you get what I don't know, they call it 5 stars, and you have it completion done. But basically that it's a very nice way, an easy way to actually make sure that your profile is actually complete. It doesn't mean that it's perfect, but it's at least you've completed it. You sort of, I would say, 60-70% of the way there. That profile strength is basically, you can see it there on the desktop. You can see on the desktop where it is just under the profile in the background, and then also the same thing on the mobile. So make sure that you do that and you get through the profile picture. The completion of the profile. Okay. So one thing I do want to say is that I'm hoping that next week I'll move this session to either Thursday or Friday. I'm finding that on a Tuesday, it's very difficult because we launch our publication on Tuesday. And also it doesn't give me enough time to talk about what we're doing in the next chat and get people to it. So thanks for watching. I hope you found it entertaining and insightful, more insightful than entertaining, I hope. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Please, let's discuss it on LinkedIn, on Tech Talk Legal, or in Tech for Law on the article. you can go and put your comments in there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week. Thank you very much. Cheers. Goodbye.